So I was requesting that is it possible in a webinar something like automation DBA tools later on, not now.
Hey, DB tools is like a PowerShell automation, okay, completely. So using DB tools, we can automate many of things. Yeah, we'll plan it.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, hi, I am back.
Yes.
Okay, I will take.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I will take and confirm you. Yes, thanks. Okay, chal. Yeah, though, and needs to start. So I'm not sure what are the things you discussed so far. Okay, so I will talk to Sai once what you discuss. Still, you are having any issue on the installing part? Do you got clarity? Sai, what we discussed?
I shared the link to download the evaluation edition. By default,
Okay.
the link is routing to 2025. So
Okay.
I shared the evaluation link in the group to
Okay.
download 2019.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Just ping me in the ping over the WhatsApp group as well. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Already it's available in
Okay.
the WhatsApp group.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. So in continuous to yesterday's session, the first concept we are going to discuss is recovery models. Okay. So now, yesterday we discussed about while we are creating a database, so what are the things we need to take in care, and what exactly developers are doing, okay, in the background. Okay, so many of things are performing by the developers or application team, test team, or Azure data engineering team. Okay, business intelligence team. So different teams are working in the background. Okay, front end. See, in the front end, we are having different teams. In the back end, the DB team is going to take care of our services, our databases. Everything is going to take care by the DB team. So once you create the database, now you will grant the permission. Now once you grant the permission, so different users can perform different operations. Okay, different customers, different users can perform different operations. Okay, in terms of tables, views, store blocks, functions, triggers, all the things they are going to perform. Now, what DBA people will do super here means we need to make sure our services need to be run. We need to make sure our databases need to be healthy. We need to make sure that SQL Server need to give the up to the good performance. We need to make sure that, okay, see, if anyone is coming new, we need to grant the permission, we need to revoke the permissions, or we need to move the data from one server to another server, one environment to another environment. So these are all activities going to taken care by the DBs that we are going to discuss in couple of days. All the span of this course, we are going to discuss majorly on the DBA task, and meanwhile we'll also try to bring some development activities. Okay, so meanwhile we'll also try to bring the development activities. The first thing we are going to discuss once we create the database. So before we talk about all this, first let's talk about three concepts. One is recovery models, one is backups, and one is restores. Okay, so because entire whatever we are going to discuss later on, like it can be log shipping, it can be mirroring, it can be replication, it can be always on clusters, upgradation, migrations, whatever we are going to perform the activities, all the activities majorly will depends on any one of this. Either you will choose the approach with backup restores, okay, and the database recovery models are very important. So that is the one thing where we are going to start with the first concept called recovery model. Again, we will come back many other stuff also. First, let's complete these three major activities. Then we'll go for other things, whatever we will do in the SQL. Okay. So once you create the database, okay, our job is done. No. So you need to protect this database in terms of access, in terms of corruption. So how you are going to protect? That is what we are going to discuss. As part of this database, the first concept here we are going to discuss is recovery models. The first concept. When you go to the database property, go to the option, there is a concept called recovery model. So we are having three types. One is full, bulk logged, simple. That's it. Very simple. Practically, it's very simple, but theoretically, you need to understand a lot. Practically, it is very simple. Theoretically, you need to understand a lot. So when you are switching this recovery models, like by default, your database is running in full recovery model. If I wanted to decide to switch to bulk log recovery model, if you wanted to switch to simple recovery model, so before we switch, what is the full recovery model? What is the bulk log recovery model? What is simple recovery model? We need to understand each and every concept, and we need to understand if you are switching, what are the things we need to take in care. What are the things we need to take in care if you decide to switch the recovery models, and each recovery model, what is the functionality in the background. Okay, so first we are going to discuss this concept, then followed with the backups, followed with the restores, and these are the major base concepts. Okay, base concept. So as part of now recovery models, full, simple, and bulk logged. Bulk log. So these are the three recovery models in SQL Server. Okay. Basically, what is recovery model, Subbu? Why I need to learn in the starting phase? Okay. What exactly this recovery model is doing? See, recovery model is one of the database property. So we are having lots of properties here. When you go to the database property, we are having these many properties in SQL Server. Okay, these many. Out of this, recovery model is one of the property. One of the property. Out of this, all the properties, recovery model is also one of the property. Then why this is so important? Because you will get to know, sir, why this is so important. See, recovery model is one of the database property, okay, which maintaining the log. See, especially when you create a database, there are two things. When you create any database in SQL Server, there are two things. One is MDF file, one is LDF file. Okay, one is MDF file, one is LDF file. So whenever you create any database in SQL Server, by default, two files will be created. One is a data file, one is a log file. Okay, so this recovery model is mainly working on the log file. It is not doing anything on our data files. It is not doing anything on our data files. It is completely working on the log file. So what exactly it is doing on log file? Recovery model. So recovery model is one of the database property which is mainly working on the LDF file, log file. Basically, it's working on the log file. What exactly it is doing on the log file, Subbu? See, in a simple terms to understand, whenever you create a database, LDF is created. See, if you go to the specific location, okay, so your log file is created. This is your externally you are seeing. So physically, oh, this is my LDF file, this is my data file, log file, data file. So every database having data file, log file, data file, log file, data file, log file. And TempDB will contain multiple data files. So one MDF, rest of all the NDFs, and definitely TempDB also contains the LDF file. Every database in entire SQL Server will contain the LDF file, and our recovery model is working only on the LDF file. Recovery model is working on the LDF file. This is physically you are seeing. Okay, physically, whenever you go here, you will see your file name dot LDF file. It's okay, fine. But what we need to understand means internally, assume this is your log file. This is your log file, LDF file. And this is your MDF file. Okay, this is your MDF file. And this is your log file. This is your log file. Now, externally, you are seeing a log file, but internally, log file is divided into two portions. Log file is divided into two portions. One is active portion, one is inactive portion. One is active portion, one is inactive portion. What do you mean by active portion? What do you mean by inactive portion? Okay, active portion is nothing but running transactions. Whatever currently running on the instance, all the running transaction will be in the active portions. Once your transaction is done, okay, now it need to move to the MDF file. See, your data is copying from the buffer only. This is your data cache. Don't get confused. Okay, data cache. It is copying data from the data cache to the MDF file. Okay, before it move the data. Okay, before means who is moving the data? Either checkpoint or lazy writer, correct? So you remember checkpoint, lazy writer, we discuss a lot. Either checkpoint, either lazy writer will write the data from the data cache to the MDF file. Data cache to the MDF file. Before it writing the data, it is making in the log file as a inactive. As inactive means, for example, technically speaking, this we'll call it as a VLFs. DBCC log info. Not log info, log info. Log. LDF files are log info. So when you run this command, you will find these many VLFs. Technically, we'll call it as a VLFs. Virtual log files. Okay. Log file, see, externally you are seeing a log file, but internally your log file is divided into small chunks. Nothing but small boxes. Chunk. Technically, we'll call it as a chunk. Okay, internally, log file is divided into small chunk. Each chunk we'll call it as a VLF, virtual log file. So for this database, how many VLFs it created? 10 VLFs it created. For AdventureWorks 2019 database, currently 10 VLFs are there. Based on your log file size, VLF count will be vary. I am not discussing anything log files, sir. We'll talk in advanced level. As of now, what you need to understand, okay, externally we are seeing a log file, but internally log file is divided into small chunks. Each chunk will call it as a one VLF. Each chunk will call it as a VLF. How it is dividing, how many VLF it divides, we'll talk more on the advanced level when we are talking log file architecture. There is a dedicated session, log file architecture, log file troubleshoot, and VLF troubleshoot. Sometimes too many VLFs may impact entire your database performance. Okay, so we'll talk more in the advanced level. As of now, just to understand the recovery model, what we need to understand. Okay, internally our log file is contain two portions. One is active portion, one is inactive portion. See, this VLF can be active or this VLF can be inactive. 2 means active VLF. 0 means inactive VLF. 0 means inactive VLF. 2 means active VLF. At least one VLF will be active, sir, always. In every database, whatever the database you created or whatever database currently be there, every database, at least whether you are performing, not performing anything, at least one VLF will be inactive, active portion. Okay, rest of all the VLFs will be inactive, means you can use it, sir. You can use it. Now, internally, your VLF is divided, it contains two portions. One is active portion, one is inactive portion. What is active? The transactions which are running are kept in the active portion. What is inactive? Before it move the data from buffer to disk, before it move the data from buffer to disk, it will place a copy as a inactive. Active will become the inactive. Active automatically will become the inactive, means whatever the active VLF and it is moving the data. Okay, once the data is moved, then it will place it as an inactive portion. Inactive means data is already moved to the MDF file. Means you can truncate it, sir. See, active will become inactive, inactive will become active. It's a round robin way because log need to be reused every time. Internally, your log file is reusing. If it is not reusing, then definitely log will get full and you will get the alert. You will get 9002 alert. Log file is so-and-so database, log file is getting full because maybe your VLFs are not reusing. We don't know what exactly why my VLF are not reusing. It can be plenty of reasons why your VLFs are not reusing. So don't think about why Subbu, how Subbu. We'll talk about troubleshooting. So as of now, Act 2, what do you Act 2? The running transactions. Whatever the transactions which are currently running, it will be in the active portion. Once your data is moving to the MDF file, it will make it as an inactive portion. Inactive. So I hope this you understand, everyone. Log file, basic. Everyone clear? Log file contains two portions. One is active, one is inactive. What do you mean by active? The transactions which are currently running. What is inactive? The data which is already moved. Then why Subbu, it moved data, right? Why it is keeping? Okay, so that is how Microsoft is maintaining multiple copies, sir. But no worries, there will be no duplicate. Okay, you no need to think that any duplicate in the database will put this many copies. Microsoft is maintaining. See, you are having a copy in the data cache, you are having a copy in the active, you are having a copy in inactive. What will happen? So nothing. So we need to protect the data. So multiple copies Microsoft is maintaining. And no worries, your data won't be duplicated. Because once the data is moved to the MDF file only, active will become inactive. Active below, then where the recovery model here, Subbu? So that's what, sir. Now, how long I need to keep my inactive portion? How long I need to keep my inactive portion? That is handling by the recovery model. Recovery model. This is very important, sir. Okay, active is become inactive. Okay, whether we need to until we need to took the backup. See, without as a best practice, we need to take entire log file backups, sir, best to protect our data. Hey, data is already moved to the MDF file side. So why again we need to protect? Okay, why we need to protect? So that is a biggest question. Many of that is how Microsoft is protecting data by in the multiple places. Multiple places, even data is moved to the MDF file. Also, Microsoft is maintaining the data. Somehow, Microsoft is maintaining the data because data is very important for us. So, in technically speaking, first we need to understand, okay, recovery model is completely working on the log file. How long I need to keep my transaction logs in the LDF file? Nothing but inactive portion. Nothing but inactive portion. How long I need to keep that inactive portion? Okay. That is the first thing. Next thing, what kind of backups we can perform? So we are having different types of backups. Like in general, three backups are main. One is a full backup, one is a differential backup, one is a log backup. Okay, what types of backups I can perform on the database? That is also handling by the recovery model. Nothing but log backups are in a simple layman terms, log backups. Whether I can perform the log backup or whether I can't perform the log backup. This behavior is also handling by the recovery model. I need to keep the inactive portion or I need to delete the inactive portion, or I can take the log backup, or I can skip the log backup. These are the things are going to taken care by the recovery model. So simply if you are switching the recovery model, okay, so what will happen? Majority of the time inactive portion will be truncated automatically and you can't take the log backup also. Based on your recovery models, you can't take the log backups. So log backups are very important. Inactive portion is also very important. Even if data is moved to the MDF file also, inactive portion is very important. Yep, got it. So what are the things our recovery model is doing? Everyone? Recovery model is the model.
Managing the transaction log.
Okay, recovery model is the database property. Database property. Okay, database property, which handle the log file. Log basically it is completely working with the log file. It is handling Subbu. How long we need to keep, okay, log records. It puts on LDF file. LDF file. LDF file. This is handling and okay. And one more thing, what is that, sir? What? Okay. What type of backups means? What kind of backups? Kind of backups we can perform. Backups we can especially log backups, sir. Log backup. Okay. In a braces, mainly it is working with the log backups. These are the two database properties. These are the major two database properties which is handling by the recovery model. So to understand more, what you need to understand as of now currently, log file is internally contains two portions. One portion is active portion, one portion is inactive portion. How I can see that information is by running dbcc log info. If you run dbcc log info, it will display how many active portions are there, how many inactive portions are there, and technically we'll call it as a VLFs. Okay, so this VLFs, okay, can be active, can be inactive, can be active, can be inactive. Now, how long I need to keep that inactive portion? See, once your data is moved to the MDF file, we need to truncate the inactive portion, sir. Otherwise, what will happen? Log can't be reused. If log is not reusing, definitely we'll get the alert. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. For example, you said recovery model is one of our database properties which handles the log file, right? And you said how long do we need to keep the log
records on LDF file?
Okay, so actually, for my own understanding, how long we need to keep the recovery based on the type of recovery model? Because for the full recovery model and the bulk log recovery model, we can keep the log file as long as, but with the log file, we can keep it because with a simple recovery model, the log are not stored because as the transaction gets finished, it gets truncated. With a simple.
You will understand, ma'am. You will understand. Let me write a point here, okay? See, how long? That is what the biggest question many of people, okay? Now you'll understand when I just write one point here. Okay, how long means, see, basically, who is moving the data? Checkpoint, correct? Majority of the time, checkpoint is moving the data from the buffer to disk, your checkpoint, and laser is also moving. Okay, now, majority of the time, checkpoint is moving. See, when checkpoint triggers, okay, imagine your database in simple recovery model. Imagine your database in simple recovery model. When checkpoint triggers in simple recovery model, in simple recovery model, inactive portion will be truncated automatically once it moves the data. So what is the checkpoint is doing? It is moving the data. Once your data got moved, it is truncating inactive portion automatically. Inactive portion will be truncated. When checkpoint triggers in simple recovery model, inactive once data moved to data file, the inactive portion will be truncated. So this is the one thing. You understand in simple recovery model, whenever checkpoint got triggered, automatically it will truncate. Once the data got moved to the MDF file, it will truncate. It will go and truncate the inactive portion. How Subbo it is means, okay, in simple recovery model, especially it will trigger checkpoint with truncate internally. internally. How it is truncating the data? Checkpoint with the truncate option. Internally, if someone asks how it is truncating, means you can tell that it will trigger internally checkpoint with the truncate option. Basically, with no truncates, are basically in full recovery model, in bulk log recovery model, it will be with no truncate. With no truncate means it should not truncate the log until we took the backup. We need to perform the backup, sir. Until we perform the backup, usually it should not truncate the log. But in simple recovery model, your log is truncating automatically. How it is truncating, Subbu? So it is triggering checkpoint with the truncate option. Checkpoint with the truncate option internally. So that is the reason once your data got moved, it will truncate automatically. This is the first case. One case. One more case. Okay. Imagine, assume Subbu, if checkpoint got not triggered. Maybe your checkpoint got hanged or something happened and you are performing a massive, due to that my log is growing like anything. As imagine the checkpoint is not triggered. Then, okay, in simple recovery model, okay, internal checkpoint will trigger. Internal checkpoint will trigger. Checkpoint will trigger. Okay, if log grow, okay, more than 70%, automatically. You no need to trigger. This is internal checkpoint. Internal checkpoint. So regular checkpoint is triggering. Okay, regular checkpoint will trigger, and internal checkpoint will also trigger. Regular checkpoint is triggering. Meanwhile, your log is growing like anything. That time, internal checkpoint will also trigger. Whenever internal checkpoint got trigger, regular checkpoint got trigger, it will truncate the logs once the data move to the MDF file. In simple recovery model, internal checkpoint never triggers for the full recovery model, bulk log recovery model. There is no concept called internal checkpoint for full recovery model or bulk log recovery model, only in the simple recovery model.
So, can I ask here one question, if permit?
Yeah.
So, suppose I have created database in simple recovery model, and I have not take a backup. Till now, I have not take any backup, and my transaction will be completing, and my log file will be grow continuously. So, what's the reason behind? You said took a checkpoint will be triggering, then it will be plus inactive transaction, but everything will be committed, but my log file growing. Till now, I'm not taking any time my first DB backup. Recovery model is simple.
Recovery model is simple.
Simple. Okay, I have my transaction running, everything running fine, and my transaction are completed. Okay, and I have not take a backup, or I want to truncate a log file or
See, in
sync a log
simple
file.
recovery model, there is no concept called log backup. Firstly, okay, there is no
Yeah, I
concept called
understand.
log backup. Yeah.
Yes, understand. No log concept. But
Yeah.
simple recovery, you said to all the transaction, inactive transaction will be flush. I'm agree with you. But my log file is growing. Why? They say if all the inactive transaction will be flush, then why my log file is growing?
Many reasons, sir. Many reasons. Only checkpoint is making harm. In simple recovery model, there are other stuff also. Maybe active transaction is running.
No, nothing transaction will be, no transaction running, everything will be completed. And again, I try to the run a few transactions, then again my log file will be growing. Previously, 10 transactions
Okay,
running,
growing in the sense.
the log file size will be growing.
Okay, let it be, sir. What is the problem? What is the problem if log file is growing?
No, my concern here, you said okay, it will be a simple recovery model. All the transactions will be flush inactive.
See, log growing is it depends on what transaction we are performing. See, log grow is what transaction you are performing, how massive transaction is performing. Log will grow, sir, definitely. Later on, log is truncating or not. That is very important, right? Log is truncating or log will truncate automatically, right? And it is
No,
using, you are getting any log
no.
file full alert.
Yes, Subbu. Suppose I have not taken my database backup, then I get alert from the log file pool. I have tried to put into this condition one time, check this. Till now, I'm not taking my simple database backup. Then if my log file will grow continuously.
You mean to say if you
And we're
not
getting
perform the first backup?
yes.
See, backup will definitely perform. So that is the next point I am going to tell. See, whenever you create a database, you need to perform the full backup. That is a base point. So I am not talking not talking anything backup. I'm in the recovery model. Okay, I don't want make confuse lot in the beginning itself. First, let's understand their log file. See, first how the recovery model is working. They need to understand. See, I will talk about the backups. Next point is that only. See, whenever okay, let's add that point. Okay, to avoid your confuse. See, in SQL Server, sir. Again, I'm not talking about any other database management system. In SQL Server, whenever you create any database, okay, the first backup you should perform is a full. Okay, if whenever you create any database in SQL Server, okay, I not only non-prem, sir, even when you go for cloud, even when you go for PaaS, whatever the platform it may be, okay, you need to perform the backup. So hold on, sir, I don't want to make the confuse the newly people joining. Okay, so these 3 sessions are dependency sessions. Okay, please, after completing the recovery phase only, you will become strong in all these 3 concepts. So here and there, couple of points are dependent. Okay, so I don't want to make more confuse you a lot. So recovery models, backups, restores, or some dependencies. All 3 are some dependencies. Hold for 3 days. Okay, until we complete these concepts, you can't become strong. Okay, please don't rush here and there. Let's talk slowly. Then I will make you strong in all these 3 concepts. Very simple concept, but to understand theoretical, little complicated. Okay, that's the reason all are 3 dependencies. So first thing, okay, I don't want to make that concept. I don't want to bring here. I will talk when we are talking on backups. In simple recovery model, okay, in simple recovery model, whenever checkpoint triggers, okay, so once data is moved to the data files, okay, data move to the data files, inactive portion will be truncated automatically. Once your data got moved to the MDF file, it will truncate. And how it is truncating internally, checkpoint with the truncate option, it will trigger. That is one case. Another case is in simple recovery model, internal checkpoint will also trigger if your log is growing greater than 70% automatically. Automatically, internal checkpoint will trigger. That will also flushes the data and it will truncate the inactive portion to make log to reuse. So every time your log is reusing. Every time your log is reusing. This is the first point. Is it clear, everyone? In simple recovery model. Clear? Not clear? Everyone? No? Yes? Come on, yeah? Yes.
Yes, Subbu.
Yes, Subbu.
Okay. So now, in full recovery model, okay, in full recovery model, when checkpoint triggers, okay, checkpoint triggers, okay, triggers, okay, it won't truncate the inactive portion. Inactive portion. Very simple. In full recovery model, whenever checkpoint triggers, it won't truncate the inactive portion because it is triggering with the checkpoint with the no truncate option. Even in the bulk log also same. So why, Subbu, you are writing like this means majority of the time they will ask the differences. They won't ask what is the simple, full and bulk log recovery model. Majority of the time they will ask what is the difference between full and bulk logged, full and simple, simple and full, simple and bulk logged. So that is the reason I'm making as a difference so that easily to understand. So In simple recovery model, whenever checkpoint got triggers, it will move the data and it will truncate the inactive portion. In full and bulk log recovery model, when checkpoint triggers, it won't truncate the inactive portion. It will just move the data. It will just move the data, but it won't touch the inactive portion. It won't touch it, sir. It won't touch the inactive portion because it is triggering checkpoint with no truncate option in both recovery models. Now, here I don't have any issue because my inactive portion is truncating. But here you will definitely face the issue, right? Yes or no? If inactive portion is not truncating, log will definitely grow, right? Yes, no. Log can't be reused. If inactive portion is not truncating, definitely, okay, your log will grow. And at certain time, definitely you will see the log file full. Okay, now to truncate the inactive portion, okay, to truncate inactive, okay, portion. So we need to configure log backups job, log backup. This is the mandatory. If you forget to configure log backup job, okay, if you forget to configure the log backup job, definitely your log will grow and you will face the log file full alert. So here in bulk log recovery model, in full recovery model, you must and should perform the log backup. Okay, to truncate the inactive portion, okay, we need to configure log backup job. Means log backups are possible here. In full recovery models, you can take the log backup. In bulk log recovery models, you can take the log backup. See, I told you, right? Okay, what kind of backups can we perform on the DB side? So in simple recovery model, we can't perform log backups. Okay, log backups. No, you can't perform the log backups in simple recovery model. In simple recovery model, we can't perform the log backups. In full and bulk log recovery model, you must and should configure the log backups. Otherwise, definitely your log will get full. Your log will get full. Okay, definitely your log will get full if you're not performing the log backups. If you're not performing the log backups, definitely in full recovery model, in bulk log recovery model, your log will get full. Until unless you take the log backup, your log won't be truncated. Until unless you take the log backup, your log will be truncated. It won't truncate, sir. Until unless you perform the log backup, your log can't be truncated. So you must and should configure log backup. You must and should configure log backups, either in the full recovery model, either in the bulk log recovery model. So these are the mainly 2 points you need to remember first. Okay. So what is the first point? Whenever checkpoint got triggered in simple recovery model, okay, it will move the data and it will truncate the inactive portion. And internal checkpoint also trigger whenever log is growing more than 70%. And we can't perform the log backups. But coming to full and bulk log recovery model, whenever checkpoint triggers, it won't truncate the inactive portion. And we to truncate the inactive portion, we need to configure the log backups. Means log backups are possible in full and bulk log recovery model. Okay, I will arrange the entire sentence frame and I will share it with you, sir. You can go on start preparing. Yes.
Subbu, I have one.
Yes.
So internal checkpoint is available for full bulk log recovery models?
No. That's what I not written here. So there is nothing called internal checkpoint. See, whenever you are switching the recovery models, internal checkpoint may come. But technically, there is no internal checkpoint in the full and bulk log recovery.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the recommendations while we are changing the recovery models?
I will tell you, sir. Let's first understand about these 3 functionalities.
Sure.
Okay. Next point. See, being you don't have one thing you came to know, oh, there is a log backup concept. See, this point, when we are talking on the backups, you will understand. What do you mean by log backup, Subbu? Majority of the people who are learning having a question called what is log backup. That concept we'll talk in when we are discussing backup session. Okay, means tomorrow, so we'll talk log backup tomorrow. Now, next point. Okay, point in time restore. PITR. Point in time restore is not possible. Okay, in simple recovery model. The recovery model. Recovery model. Okay, point in time restore is not possible in simple recovery model. Okay, point in time restore is possible in full recovery model. Okay, point in time restore is may or may not possible in bulk log recovery model. What do you mean by point in time? Means, okay, as of now, just remember only this point, sir. I will talk when we are discussing restores. Okay, this point I will talk when we are discussing restore. This point we'll talk when we are discussing backups. So I told you, right? Recovery model is depending on the backups, restores. So hold for 2 more days. You will understand completely about what you mean by point in time restore. Okay, what do you mean by log backup? All the stuff slowly will understand. So day by day you will understand. Once we got complete these 3 concepts, you will become so confident. Okay, point in time restore may or may not possible. Point in time restore is possible, and point in time restore is not possible. Is not possible in simple recovery model, but in bulk log recovery model may or may not possible. In full recovery model, it is possible because you are having log backup. Without log backups, you can't perform the point in time restore. You must and should need the log backup. So log backups are not there in simple recovery model. Without log backups, you can't perform the point in time restore. Without log backup, you can't perform point in time restore. I will show you practical demo. Don't get tense, okay? The people who are seeing first time will see the practical demo. Like a piecemeal restore, we'll see practical. Point in time restore, we'll see practical. By loading some data, we'll go for practical so that you can easily understand. Okay, just note down 1 second. So just make a note down. Oh, point in time restore is not possible. Point in time restore is possible. Point in time restore is may or may not possible. Yes, sir.
So like a stop it function also will see.
We'll
Like,
see. Okay,
okay.
I don't want to make so confused.
No.
Okay?
Part of
Step
the
back.
same thing, right? Yeah, correct.
Your point in time restore is nothing but stop at class
Stop
1.
it only. Yeah, correct.
Yes. Okay. So is it clear? 3 points, majorly 3 differences. If someone is asking, will you tell us 3 differences? Okay, so fine. Next, okay. Mostly we will okay. No HADR okay supports. Okay, no HADR supports. In simple recovery model, you can't configure any high availability, any disaster recovery. No HADR techniques will support in simple recovery model. Okay, all the HADR supports. All HADR supports. What do you mean by HADR? So the log shipping, okay. DB mirroring, okay. Always on availability group, AAG, always on. So 3 techniques are compatible. So replication is not a HA. Okay, please make a note of. Replication is not a HA, but some people also will add the replication. But replication is not HA. Replication is not a DR. In simple recovery model, replication is compatible. Replication. You can configure replication if your database is in simple recovery model, but no HA and DR supports. Means log shipping won't supports, mirroring won't supports, always on won't support. Then where is cluster? Super cluster is something different, sir. Cluster is an instance level. Okay, cluster is a instance level. So you no need to worry about the clusters. Okay, mostly dev servers. Will make as a simple recovery model. So we no need to worry about that much log on the dev servers. So that's the reason mostly we'll prefer the dev environment, dev servers. Okay, all production servers. Okay, all prod and test servers should be in full recovery model. So some people also keep even prod also in simple recovery models. Okay, but majority of the time all the prod and test servers should be in the full recovery model. Dev server, okay sir, fine, we can keep in the simple recovery model if you want. Okay, if you don't have any storage constraint, massive storage, then dev also you can keep in the full recovery model, fine. Okay, so I am not telling that you should not keep, we should keep only this one. Okay, but majority of the time in the real world you may come like a dev environments which may run in the simple recovery model. Rest of all the platforms like test, pre-prod, prod must and should run in the full recovery model. And the default is also full recovery models. When you are creating any database, the default will be the full recovery model. Even for the cloud also. Even when you go for PaaS also, default is a full recovery model. And you can't change the full recovery model in the PaaS platforms like Azure SQL database, Azure MI. You can't change to simple or bulk log recovery model. It will be in the full recovery model. Always it should be in the full recovery model. Then what about the bulk? Is it clear, sir, everyone? No? Yes? Okay.
So
Coming
both
to
is
bulk log.
clear, but due to bulk log, have some doubt. May be recovered, may not
Sir.
be recovered.
Wait. We'll talk. Okay. Only log shipping is compatible. Supports log shipping will support. Okay, support. Only log shipping, sir. If you go for bulk log recovery model, you can configure only log shipping. You can't configure mirroring, you can't configure always. See, replication is not a HA, not a DR. It's a future in SQL Server. Don't bring HA, DR replication concepts. Windows failure cluster is an instance level feature. So whatever recovery model, you can keep it, nothing to worry about when you go for clusters. But especially for log shipping, mirroring, always on, only full recovery model is compatible. Bulk log recovery model, only log shipping is compatible. In simple recovery model, nothing. No HADR concept, sir, will support. No HADR concept will support. One more point if I wanted to add on, okay, for full recovery model, okay, we can recover data up to the point of failure. Okay, this point just add it, sir. I will explain when we are discussing restores. This whole point we'll talk more on the restore concept. This point will talk on the backups, so that you will become strong in first 3 points. You can recover the data up to the point of failure, but simple, no. Bulk log, no. You can't. Now, as of now, this is the major difference you will notice when you go for simple and full and bulk logged. Now, is it clear? Any questions on these points? I am not talking any other points, only these points. Is it clear, everyone? Anyone? Everyone clear? No? Yes? Just remember all this point as it is, sir. Slowly you can understand one by one. Tomorrow you will understand one point. Day after tomorrow you will understand. Yes.
So simple, can we have a Well, can we configure replication with a simple?
Yes, you can configure, sir, replication. Replication is not a HA, replication is not a DR.
Okay.
Yeah.
Subbu, then replication is possible in bulk log recovery model?
Bulk log is something different, sir, basically. That's the reason I not added here. We won't prefer bulk log.
Okay.
Okay. So next I need to add the points here, bulk log. See, if you are clear, then I can go for bulk log. Bulk log is very important, sir. I need to discuss a lot. See, these are very simple, very straightforward. These are very simple, very straightforward. Now, something you wanted to learn is bulk log. Something you wanted to learn is bulk log, sir. Okay. If no questions, then I can go for bulk log. No? Yes? Okay. Everyone is good. Now, see, sir. See, before I go into the bulk log, you wanted to understand a logic. Okay. Again, I'm back into the LDF file. You know that log file contains two portions. One is active, one is inactive. Inactive. Okay, one is active, one is inactive. See, this is your RAM. In the RAM, you are having data cache. In the data cache, you are having pages. And you are writing the records. Like 1 KMS 5000, 2 ABC 10,000. You are writing a data. Now let's start, sir. Basically, see, in the buffer over the data pages, you are writing the data. Okay. Now same data is moving to the log file for the wall concept. You remember wall, right? Write ahead logging. Whatever the changes you are doing in the buffer, every changes need to register in the log file to satisfy wall concept. Now, how these changes are writing into the log file? In the form of log records. In the form of log records. Okay. Now, every log record, SQL Server will generate LSN number. Every log record. Every log record, SQL Server will generate a LSN number. Log sequence number. Log sequence number. Every record, whatever you are doing, for every record, SQL Server will generate a log sequence number, easily to track. So log sequence number like 8 plus 8, 16 plus 6, I think. Almost 22 to 24 characters will be there. Okay, this is LSN number 01985720125. Like this, every record SQL Server internally generating the LSN number, log sequence number. Okay, so this log sequence number is also not simply creating by Microsoft. Okay, first 8 digits represent which VLF. First 8 digits represent which VLF. Oh, so VLF. See, this is how your LSN number looks like, sir. Okay, in the starting, it will be LSN. Okay, this is how your LSN number looks like. First 8 digits will represent, okay, which VLF your log record. That log record is going, which VLF. Next 8 digits will represent which log block. See, this is your log file, contains small portions. Okay, in these portions, again, there is a concept called log block. There is a concept called log block. In this log block, only a log record is fitting. There is no concept called pages, all the stuff when you specially go for LDF file. Okay, there is no concept called page, sir, in the LDF file. Okay, in the chunk, in that VLF, it contains log block. In that log block, it contains the log record. So which VLF, which log block, that log record is fitting. Now by decode, we can decode with help of LSN number. With help of LSN number, if you want, we can decode which VLF, which log block our log record is residing. Okay, storing. So every record, whatever you are performing, SQL Server will generate the LSN number, and that LSN number is registering in the log file. Either it will be in the simple recovery model, either in the full recovery model, either in the bulk log recovery model. Okay. Every recovery model, this is the approach Microsoft is following. So in the log file, there is a concept called VLF. In that VLF, there is a concept called log block. In that log block, your log records are fitting. In the log block, your log records are fitting. So every record, whatever going to the LDF file, is creating by the LSN number. Microsoft is creating LSN number. Okay, fine, Subbu. For example, okay, I understood how Microsoft is maintaining log records in LDF file. Means in the form of log records is maintaining internally in the form of log records. Microsoft is maintaining log records in the log file. Okay, then fine. Then what I need to discuss in the here, that is a approach for all the type of recovery models, right? Then what I need to remember here, what I need to learn here. Let's go to the bulk log recovery model, sir. Okay. See, basically, for example, you are inserting 10 billion records. Okay. Or imagine 15 billion records, 50 billion records you are inserting. All in the simple recovery model, in the bulk log recovery model. Okay. In the simple recovery model, in the bulk log recovery model, exclude bulk log, sir. In the simple recovery model, in the full recovery model, every record SQL Server is generating one LSN number. In a traditional, SQL Server will generate LSN number. How many LSN number it need to generate? 50 billion LSN number it need to generate, right? Yes, no, everyone. Come on, sir, stop me if you're not understanding. Every record, if it is generating one LSN number, if I am inserting 50 billion records, 50 billion LSN number it need to generate. So to generate this LSN number, to log it into the LDF file, if imagine that record is taking 3 seconds, okay, not 3 milliseconds, for example, okay, to generate the LSN number for the record and to register that record information in this VLF in the log block, it is taking 3 milliseconds. For example, it is taking 3 milliseconds. Now imagine how much time it took for 50 billion records. How many seconds it will take to log this 50 billion records? Massive time, sir. Massive time. See, 3 milliseconds is not a small, sir. Okay, not a small, because you are logging almost 50 billion records. You are logging 50 billion records. Now, definitely users are experiencing some slowness. Now, users will come to DBS and ask that, will you improve the performance? Hey, I am logging this much of data. Last time when I triggered, it took almost 2.5 hours to 3 hours to load that 50 billion records. Will you help me to improve my performance? Imagine, sir, will you help me? Sir, there are lot of other factors also. It is not a straightforward, okay? But I'm not telling all that factors. I am straight away I'm telling, imagine if you application team coming to you and asking that, hey, I am performing this many massive business transactions. Will you improve my performance? Okay. Now many of the people will get a doubt call. I can switch to the bulk log recovery model. Okay. Why, Subbu? Bulk log recovery model is dedicatedly for that only, to improve the bulk operations. Okay. To improve the bulk operations, Microsoft came up with the concept called bulk log recovery model. Microsoft came up with the concept called bulk log recovery model. If I wanted to improve the performance of bulk operations, then I can switch to bulk log recovery model. In a traditional, this is the approach. Then how you are improving the bulk log recovery model, Subbu, means, for example, you are performing a 50 billion records. Now, when you are switched to bulk log recovery model and you are performing bulk operation, and SQL Server estimate this as a bulk operation, SQL Server think that is a bulk operation by understanding some keywords like select into, okay, insert with select, okay, BCP, SSIS, okay. When you are using this kind of keywords, when you are specially performing this kind of keywords, So SQL Server can estimate you are performing bulk operation. Okay, you are performing bulk operation. Now SQL Server will behave little differently on that specific transaction. So if SQL Server think that my database in bulk log recovery model and these keywords are matching to the bulk log recovery model, now SQL Server imagine that, okay, you are performing bulk operation. Now SQL Server behavior will be little change. What is that little change? Means how many transactions you are performing? 50 billion transactions you are performing. Now you are in the bulk log recovery model and you are using any one of the keywords and you are performing a bulk operation. Then SQL Server will think that, oh, these 50 billion records as a one transaction is a one transaction. Now it will just generate start LSN, end LSN. Out of 50 billion LSN, it is generating only 2 LSN. One is start LSN, one is end LSN. It is not generating any LSN number for every record. Okay. Now SQL Server log file doesn't know how many transactions you are performing. In case if something got crashed in the middle, SQL Server doesn't know how many transactions you are performing because SQL Server log is having only minimal data, start LSN, end LSN. It doesn't contains complete data. Every transaction is not holding, sir. Every LSN is not holding. So it is minimally logging. It is minimally logging. So that is a keyword you need to remember. In the bulk log recovery model, to improve the bulk operations, we are switching to bulk log recovery model. Once we switch to bulk log recovery model, if user started performing bulk operation, the log will be minimally in the log file, minimally logged. What do you mean by minimally logged? Start LSN, end LSN. That's it. There is no record by record LSN number it is generating. Record by record LSN number it is generating. No, start LSN, end LSN. Start LSN, end LSN. Now the problem, where the problem will start, imagine now it is taking only 1 milliseconds to log the data. Okay, see, you improved 2 millisecond performance for every record internally. You improved 2 milliseconds of performance. Imagine it took only 0 milliseconds to log one record. You improved overall performance. Okay, fine, right, Subbu, I improved the performance. Then what is the problem? Now, I told you, right? If everything goes smoothly, well and good, sir. If everything goes smoothly, well and good. This is completely one transaction, right? Okay, this is completely one transaction. Imagine earlier it took 2 hours, 30 minutes to complete. Now it improved to 1 hour. Okay. Now when it started, 8:15 it started. Okay. 9:15 it ended. Okay. Within 1 hour, your data got completed. Now entire this is one transaction, right? Entire this one transaction, right? Everyone? Agree, not agree? This is one transaction because it is treating as a one transaction internally. It is completely one transaction. Now in middle, if something happened at 9, okay, 10, okay, 9:10, your database got crashed. Literally, we are gone. Whatever you done almost 55 minutes is gone. It's gone. Whenever your database got crashed and you are trying to recover the data from the backups or when your database is coming online, it will run the recovery phase internally. While it is running the recovery phase also, this transaction will be rolled back because this is uncompleted transaction, uncommitted transaction, because this is a single transaction. Now that is the biggest challenge here. If something happened in the middle, we are gone. Otherwise, well and good, sir. Bulk log recovery model is good. Potentially, there may be data loss. Whatever you done, everything is gone. So now you need to convey to that I can improve the performance by switching recovery model. But in case if something happened in the middle, again you need to do from the scratch. If you're okay, I can switch it. Otherwise, let run in the full recovery model. So majority of the time we never switch to full recovery, bulk log recovery model. 99.9% we never switch, sir, because there is little dangerous. In case if in the middle something happen, we are gone literally. And in overall my experience, I never switch to bulk log recovery model. And someone who also switch to never, sir. But this is how underlying logical is working. Will I want to do practical all this subbo means? No, sir, no need. Let it be fine. So wherever you want to do such the practical, we'll stress it. These are all just enough, sir. Okay, good stuff we are loading in our brains. Very good. Wherever we wanted to go for deeper practical, there we need to go literally, because that is actual. This is okay, sir. It's okay, fine. Whenever you are having some free time, you can spend. Once you are strong in SQL Server, you can do some research. But as of now, we are many of things, or we are in the learning phase. This is very good stuff for us. That is how bulk log recovery model is working. So if you go to the interviewer, ask the pen, ask the paper, draw everything, sir. So write everything. I'm promising you definitely will crack the interview. Majority of the people, bulk log recovery model is confusing. So this is how it is. Okay, Subbu, fine. Now, up to this clear, sir, everyone. I need to still not done. Still, I need to add many things. Any questions? No? Yes?
Bo, here one question basically in my mind. You said to maybe recover, may not be recover. Which case recover, which case not recover?
It's what
Data.
I told you. It's a simple example. If something got crashed, this is single transaction. Will you break the transaction?
Yes.
Will you
No.
break the transaction? No. That's why may not. See, 99%. See, 1 second. 99% full and bulk log recovery model both are same only. Until unless you perform bulk operations. Until unless you perform bulk operations, how your full recovery model is working, bulk log recovery model is also work same only. There is no difference. So I'm happily I can do it. Only when SQL Server estimate that your recovery model is bulk logged and you perform bulk operation, okay, that time only the problem will start. See, only user one is performing this, sir. Only you will perform. Many users are connecting to the database, right? Meantime, other users also performing updates, deletes, smaller inserts. Okay, they are performing. They are performing like 8:15 before they are performing, 8:15 after they are performing, in the middle also they are performing. So not only one user is connecting to database, you need to think from multiple points, sir. Many users are. But in case if I want to stop it, so first you need to understand what is point in time restore. Okay, that time I will talk, sir. As of now, I don't want to make confused too much. Point in time restore, why Subbu may not possible means, in case if you are performing in between this time frame. Okay, you know asset property, right? What is A? Every transaction either it need to be fully committed or fully rollback, right?
Yes.
A stands for atomicity. Here tell me you are breaking atomicity, right?
Yeah.
This transaction is not fully committed. Then how comes, sir? See, literally, we no one went for practical so far. Okay.
Then suppose I am not understand why Microsoft provide this feature if we cannot recover in the database in bulk log. As especially they mentioned that it's a bulk log operation, but they mentioned point in time recovery possible. Then why this? I think I have a little bit doubt.
Nowhere Microsoft told that point in time restore is possible. May not also.
Okay.
May not also. Point in time. If may possible, then what is why we need to discuss all this stuff. Okay. Now, this is the one case. One more case. Okay, Subbu, fine. Log is minimally logging. Okay. But the behavior, internal behavior also you need to see. Now, you remember pages? How many types of pages in SQL Server?
Yes.
10 pages. Okay, database, PFS, GAM, SGAM, BCM, DCM, IAM, text page, image page, boot page. Now let's talk about the BCM page. bulk change map. Sorry, BCM. Bulk change map. There is a page, right? You remember when we are discussing recovery model, I will talk about one page, BCM page, bulk change map. Today is our turn, sir. Now, when your recovery model is bulk logged, okay, and you are performing bulk operation, SQL Server treat that you are performing bulk operation. Now, whatever the pages are going to affect by this operation, okay, by this operation, whatever the pages are going to affect by this operation, okay, all the pages map to the extents, right? In SQL Server, there is a concept called extent. Extents contains the pages. Whatever the extents got affected by this bulk operation will the logged into the BCM page. Who is tracking that bulk operation is your BCM page, sir. Now, BCM page knows that you perform the bulk operation because that contains the data. BCM page contains the data now. In general, BCM page is sitting idle. Nothing is doing, sir, basically. But BCM page contains the information. What information? Whatever the extents are affected by this bulk operation. Whatever the extents got affected by this bulk operation will be logged into the BCM page. I will show you practically, sir. Okay, tomorrow I will show you BCM page practical. I will switch to bulk log recovery model and I will load some data and I will show you how the data is registered in the BCM page tomorrow. Okay, we'll talk practical, no worries. But don't go deeper, sir. Mean to say, I will show as much, how much data you need, that much I will show, sir, but don't go deeper. It will pile up our brain. It will disturb our regular content. Okay, that's what I can say. Once you are strong in SQL, happily you can go. I'm not stopping you. Okay, once you are strong in SQL, you can put some interest on this kind of scientific research. Okay, I can say. As of now, whatever I'm showing, delivering tomorrow, that is good, sir. I will show you this practically. Okay, practical to understand. See, now, I hope you are getting my point. In bulk log recovery model, whatever the extents that are got affected by this bulk operation will be logged into the BCM page. Okay, fine, Subba, I understood. Then what is a great here? One thing. See, in full and bulk log recovery model, you can take the log backups, right? Yes. To truncate the inactive portion, you need to take the log backups. Now, what is the point you need to remember here? Okay, I will note down all the points, sir, and I will share the notes. In bulk log recovery model, you perform the bulk operation. In bulk log recovery model, you perform the bulk operation. Now, when you perform the log backup, okay, in general, log backup doesn't contain data, only log records. Okay, this is a very, very important point, sir. You need to remember. In general, log backup contains only log records, and your log file size will be minimal MB, sir, like a 1 MB, 2 MB. Sometimes it is a KBs. Okay, depends on how much load you've done. It will be KBs, MBs only. Rare case, it will find the GBs. Okay, your log backup size will be small only, small. But if you are in the bulk log recovery model and you perform the bulk operation and you trigger the log backup, okay, that time log backup contains the log records along with data. Okay, this is the first time. Okay, when you are in the bulk log recovery model and you are performing bulk operations, that time log backups are happening in the background, right? Okay, that log backup contains log records, means LDF file, along with this BCM data. Data in the sense, not your database data, sir. Only BCM data, it will copy. So In bulk log recovery model, if you performing log backup, maybe your log backup size will be little larger. Don't get confused. Okay, why I'm adding this point means first time your log backup will capture the data. Data in the sense not your database data. Only BCM data it will copy. Only BCM information it will copy, sir. BCM information it will copy into the backup. So log backup knows that, oh, log record along with the data is also handling. Data will also handle. This is the one point you need to add on, sir, when you are explaining to the interviewer. See, bulk log recovery model only you need to explain in detail, very detailed, if someone is asking. So simple to understand finally what means. Bulk log recovery model, to improve the bulk operations, we'll switch to bulk log recovery model, and all the bulk operations are minimally logged. That means, for example, if a user is performing 1 billion records, in traditional SQL Server will generate the 1 billion LSN numbers, but being we are in the bulk log recovery model and we are performing a bulk operation, SQL Server will treat this as a complete one transaction. It will generate only start LSN, end LSN. Okay. Now, whatever the extents, whatever the pages that got affected, okay, by this bulk operation, all the pages extents information will be logged into the BCM page. So when the backups are happening, log backups happening, log backup contains the log records along with the data. Got it? No? Yes. I know it's very hard the first time for listening, but you need to digest this, sir. I will write the points, okay? I will write the points and I will share the notes today. I think yesterday also I uploaded, I not granted the permission. I will upload, sir. Sorry, I forget actually yesterday. I was a little busy. Clear? Not clear? Everyone?
Yeah, so Boo, little bit clear, little bit confused.
So don't think too much that what I can say in a simple layman terms. Okay? In a simple, don't think too much. Okay? See, raw data is little tough to understand. These are all raw data. Okay? In general, we won't get the chance to in the real worlds. We won't go and see all this stuff in the real world. Majority of things. That is a problem for us. It is simple to understand, sir.
Understand, but sometimes interviewer will be asking the deeper and deeper.
See, explanation you are already almost good, sir. You are already almost good explanation. Okay, that is a pin to pin I explained. Okay, because BC, I will show you BCM page also tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow I will show you the BCM page also. In case that is only right, you want everyone is expecting. Apart from nothing else, will do go greater and greater. And I will also show you how to read the log file. Not now immediately, but once you become strong in SQL, then I will show you how to read the log file also. See, everything can I learn today itself? No. There are a lot of things, other factors you need to understand. Slowly, I will make you little digest. So that's what I told you, right? Majority of theoretical will go on by next to 4 days. Majority of theoretical. Now everything will go for practical only once we complete this one. So now that is a thing about, sir, you need to remember only this, sir. You no need to think the people who are starting the journey. Just remember this one. 99.9% you can crack the interview. 1% sometimes that interviewer may expecting, sir, maybe not you, sorry, I'm taking back, maybe whatever we are delivering, maybe that is not a right approach to delivering. See, how we are convincing to the interviewer is also very, very important. Always, definitely, sir. I told you, right, a simple example. 2 days back, one of the person asked the interview, then I straight away told him, can you let me know? And he's telling that I am asking a question. Of course, you are asking a question. You are not designing the SQL, right? SQL is designed by Microsoft, and we are not designing by will you or will me design the SQL server? No, right? Ask some meaningful questions. Okay, I can also accept. I know, of course, I need the job, but you need to ask the meaningful questions, right? Not non-meaningful questions. No, I won't take non-meaningful questions, sir, definitely. Honestly, even our student also got shocked. I think he's in the call only, and he's also laughing. No, definitely they need to ask some meaningful questions. Okay, if I don't know, definitely I can tell I literally not get a chance to work on that concept. I'm not strong on that concept. See, don't tell don't know, sir. Don't tell don't know. Tell them I not get chance to work on that future. I not get chance to explore on that concept. Don't tell don't know, please. That is a bad habit. Okay, tell that I know this much. Maybe I planned in the future to explore. As of now, I know this much. If you're okay, I can deliver this content. You can deliver whatever you know. That's the right approach. Don't tell don't know to the interviewer. And if you think that he's asking too many cross questions where there is no, see, basically whatever we are talking, whatever we go for real world, almost quite opposite only. Majority of the things, we won't do many of those things. Depends on your project, depends on your infrastructure, it will differ, sir. Okay, how you are going to fight with that interviewer is a very, very important. Okay, honestly speaking, if I am taking the interview, like I took almost 500 to 600 interviews. Okay, I will ask only a meaningful, straight away SQL questions. I never do the cross questions also. Whatever experience it may be. Whatever experience it may be. So straight away I ask one she's having 9 years experience. I simply ask how you'll troubleshoot if log file is getting full. She answered me everything fine, but when she came to office and my client came from UK and she told that she wanted to meet her, and I called her and I told, hey, Navya, she wanted to meet my client Joshiani came from UK. She wanted to meet her. So when she asked the question, I also got shocked. She's told that I will restart the SQL. Then she got shocked and she went to my delivery manager. My delivery
Restart the
manager
SQL.
yeah, my delivery manager came to me and asking, Subbu, how you selected? No, Ranga. When I am asking, she told, fine. I thought, see, I know all the things, sir. Okay. I know everything in interview, okay? Majority of the things. But I'm not telling that I'm super good at SQL. But I know everything what is happening. Then I also got shocked. I told, okay, you told me to liberize something for, see, we need to maintain balance resources, sir. How many male candidates we are selecting, we need to select the female candidates as well. That is, and maybe we will little hold for females because they are coming now outside and they are cracking, they wanted to stable. Definitely we'll show some soft corner for them. And that is the thing I told to Ranga. You told me, right, Ranga? So to select, okay, she told a good answer, but I also got shocked. Then I call her, who told you to restart the SQL? She's having genuinely 9 years experience, sir. See, if log file is getting full, why you will restart the SQL? My mind is also blown. Okay. So, okay, the people who are starting the journey, okay, like go through all the content only, sir. Slowly we can go for practical wherever you want, you can. The people who already like for example Kamal, he's like a scientist who wanted to do some experimental, I noticed. Okay. Every batch I will find this kind of like previous batch Rahul, one batch Navi.
No, sir.
Okay.
Basically not a scientist. I
Not
just
like, see, not like I'm happy to find that one student in our every batch, because see, everything I'm simply teaching and everyone is so silent. That is not, someone need to fight with me, correct? Then only will get the concept. If I am telling, everyone will think, oh, this is only I need to learn. So someone is asking the questions is also very important. So why I will tell to the people to allow means sometimes something I may missed. Okay. So this is the point. See, you told simple recovery model when full backups is not happening, definitely log won't be truncate. So that I will discuss in the backups basically. You add that point. Maybe that point I will add in the backups. Okay, see, everything is not wrong. Everything is not right, sir. Based on your scenario, situation may differs in the real world. You need to always think in the real world point of view, not in general learning point of view, sir. Always think in the real world point of view, what is happening. Okay. Now, only 2 points, sir, I will complete today's session. 30 minutes, almost 40 minutes we lost. Otherwise, I thought to start the backups. Where is recovery models? Recovery models. I am not presenting PPT, sir, now. Recovery models. Yes. Okay. To switch the recovery models, very easy, sir. There is copy. Okay. So practical, theoretical, so much we discussed, right? I will share the notes. You no need to prepare anything, sir. Okay. I will show the recovery models complete notes. If you learn that one, you are good, sir. See, now, if I wanted to see the recovery model for the databases, you can perform select name, recovery model description from sys.sys databases. When you run this command, you will see all your databases and recovery model type. 1 means a full recovery model, 2 means bulk log recovery model, 3 means simple recovery model, and you will see what is the current recovery models, all your database recovery models. So master, it will be simple recovery model. TempDB, it will be in the simple recovery model. MSDB, it will be in the simple recovery model. Only model database will be in the full recovery model. You need to remember this one also. Can you please explain what is the system databases recovery models? Then many of the people will go mind block only. Many of the people forget these recovery models for system database, sir. Okay, even including me also. You can add me also. Sometimes I will also forget. Okay, so master, TempDB, MSDB will be in the simple recovery model. Only model database will be in the full recovery model. So please don't forget, this is very important. And if you wanted to dedicatedly to see any one database, then you can run where name equal to, and you can pass the database name. You can see that database, whether it is in full recovery model or it is in bulk log recovery model. If I wanted to switch the database recovery model, okay, simply you can go for db1_new. For example, what is this recovery model? Has to verify, sir. Has to verify. Okay, this is currently full recovery model. Now, if you execute this one, okay, it's switched and you can go and verify. This is in simple recovery model. Okay, or you can go to the right click on database, go to the properties, go to the options, and here also you can switch to full recovery mode. Click on OK. Done. Now, if you verify, this is in full recovery model. As of now, this is in full recovery model, but this is not a full recovery model. Okay, this is a pseudo full recovery model. Whenever you are switching the recovery models, one more recovery model will come into the picture, that is pseudo full recovery model. When you are switching from simple to full, okay, when you are switching from simple to full, once you switch it from simple to full, that is not a full recovery model, that is a pseudo full recovery model. Okay, that is a pseudo full recovery model. Now, how I need to make the database as a traditional full recovery model means either you need to take the differential backup or you need to take the full backup. Either you need to take the differential backup or you need to take the full backup. See, that is the reason don't switch the recovery models. If you are switching the recovery models, you need to follow these best practices. Okay. For example, 1 second, Ashwant, okay? From full to bulk logged, okay? As a best practice, I mean to say, initiate the log backup, okay? Perform the bulk operation, immediately switch back to the recovery model to full, and again initiate the log backup. So once you switched, take the log backup, perform the operation, again switch back, again take the log backup. When full to bulk log recovery model. When you are switching from full to bulk log recovery model, log backups are mandatory. Okay. Now, when you are switching from simple to full, initiate the full backup or differential backup. If you already perform full backup, you need to you can perform the differential backup also. Otherwise, you need to take the full backup only. If you're not performing this one, that is not a full recovery model. That is a pseudo full recovery model. Means your log backups will be failed. If your log backups are configured and log backups are running, all log backups will fail because that is not a full recovery model. That is a pseudo full recovery model. Got it? This is very important. Means when you are switching from simple to full, see, basically bulk log rare case will switch, sir. Okay. But simple to full is very important. Some people will switch to full to simple, simple to full, full to simple, simple to full. Majority of the time. See, here also see, full or bulk log to simple. Disable the log backups. Ensure that backups are taken full backup or differential backup. So differential backup or full backup is mandatory if you are switching from simple to full or full to simple recovery model. But very important is this one, sir. This is okay, fine, no worries. But this is very important. This is very important. Someone asked if you are switching the recovery models, every switch internal checkpoint will trigger. Along with that, these are the best practice you should follow. So in general, in the real world, majority of the time, we won't switch the recovery models that frequently. Rare to rare case, we will switch the recovery models. Got it? Being you not discuss anything about the backups, majority of the people are seeing the Hollywood movie only. Tomorrow we'll talk about the backups, right? You will understand this terminology, sir. Okay. Got it? So these are the best practice you should follow. And how to switch the recovery model? Alter database name, set recovery model simple, set recovery model full, set recovery model bulk logged. Okay. Either you can go for command line or that you can go for the graphical user interface. Right click on the database, go to the properties, click on options, change the recovery model. But you should follow these best practices. So tomorrow anyhow we are discussing backup, right? Definitely will become strong. Okay. Not okay, everyone?
So, okay, the same question asked me last time.
So one question actually, every system database is in full
System database?
So, yeah, all three, like master, temp database, or MSD, all are in simple. Why only?
No, your voice is breaking, sir. Oh, you mean to say system recovery models are in simple like a master, MSDB and TempDB? Yeah, let it be, sir.
Yeah. So my question is, all the three databases are in simple recovery model. Only
Yes.
model are in full recovery model. Is there any reason?
Yeah.
Because
whenever you are
this
creating
is
any database, it is inheriting from the model, right?
Yeah. So by default, all the databases are in full recovery model, right?
No.
Because
master,
of model.
TempDB, MSDB in simple recovery model by default.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. So model is the template for all the database. So by default, whenever we create it should be always be in full recovery model.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is the most recommended, right? We are telling. That is one of the best practice.
Okay. Yeah.
Subbu, I have a question here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I believe a couple of days back we were discussing on the model database, right? And whenever suppose SQL instance is starting and model database has crashed, so TempDB uses model database, correct?
Yes.
While starting, so why there is a difference in the recovery model over here? Like TempDB is using simple recovery model and model is using full.
The TempDB is something different, sir. See, there are a lot of changes then, not only this recovery model. I know majority of majority of the question I will tell you. I don't want to make confuse, sir. See, how many data files for TempDB? Too many data files, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is a model database? What is a model database data files? Only one data file, right? Okay.
Correct.
So you are saying that whenever we are restarting SQL server, TempDB will inherit the feature from model database. Okay, but model is having only one data file. But if TempDB is having this many data file, how? See, model database is important. Okay, see, TempDB is something different, sir. I'm not saying that TempDB is everything is inheriting from the model. TempDB is something different in terms of configuration. That's what. TempDB is something different.
Okay, so it only uses certain properties, not all, that we can conclude
Yes.
here? Or?
Yes. For system databases. For system databases, yes. Yes.
Okay. Understood.
This is the question. When I was having 1 year, 1.5 year experience, they asked this question. I also think correct, right? Very good question. Actually, this is. Then I thought researching a lot, and then where I got the good information. Then I thought, okay, maybe system databases are something differ for model. Okay. So very valid question. Basically, it's not. We need to think, okay, and we need to, in case if we find the right, like Bob Ward, all that stuff, then we raise a question: what is the behind the story of the model database? Yeah. Okay. Good. You're good, sir.
Yeah, so I have a doubt.
Yes.
If my database in simple recovery model, if the log file is getting full, you said no, there's 70% log is full, automatically internal checkpoint will trigger to truncate the inactive portion, or otherwise checkpoint will run with truncate option.
No, internal checkpoint will also trigger with the truncate option, with the truncate only, sir.
With truncate only in a simple recovery model.
Yeah.
I have faced one issue 3 months back. In database in simple recovery model, log file is growing continuously. I have checked on the database, on the particular database, is there any active transaction, like I have DBCC open tran, but I am not finding any active transaction at that time. But the log is inactive portion is not truncating. In this case, I have switched from simple to full recovery model. Take after that recovery model change. I have take full backup. After that, I have take log backup, and again I will come back to simple recovery model. I think this is not the recommended way, but how you can log file will within the threshold in this case instead of changing the recording model.
Okay, I take your question, sir. I will explain tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I need to start the Postgres. Okay. So 10 o'clock, I will take the question. Yashwant, I think you also raised hand. I will take tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah,
I
sure,
will
sir.
answer it tomorrow. Okay. Just make a note on that question. I will answer it tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.